Welcome back to Eastern Plains, Colorado, here on McCaffrey Farms. I'm Al McCaffrey. Thank you for joining again. If you like the videos, be sure to give them a like and subscribe to the channel. But got a few things we're gonna be doing. I gotta get my field swept real quick, and went and picked up something which I'll show you here right at the first of the video. Talk a little more about it and what it's for. Right now I'm getting ready to head down and go put some fuel in the 8960. At least get started on my field and probably finish it up in the morning. It's almost 3 o'clock right now, which is time we did a few things. Didn't get started quite as soon, so probably have to finish up in the morning. But for now, I'm just getting ready to head down and get started. As you can see, I did a little bit of shopping and I bought a pickup head, a 914 John Deere. And what that is for the Prozo millet. The preferred way and best way to harvest Prozo is you lay it down in a windrow and then use that header to pick that windrow up. Here in a little bit, we'll be swathing it. It's starting to turn colors. So we're going to be using the 9770 and Draper head. We can put it off to the right and we'll use that to lay the windrow down, and then once it dries up and ripens, we go through with that and pick it back up. Be able to do 2 of the circles that way. The other circle's too short. I'll have to put a little more money into it and spray kill it and straight cut it. It's going to be too short to pick up, but that's what that's for. Fairly decent deal and is fairly close. It's in pretty good shape for no more than it cost and no more than we need it. I didn't need a real fancy one. Right now it's set up for the 9600, so I'll have to use Justin's combine, but eventually we'll just have to see how things go. It might get set up for the 9770, but for now I'm just gonna go finish this field up and then might look into the combine and try and get that header off and see if we can start switching the Draper over to lay a windrow down. This is working up pretty nice. There's a lot of little grasses and pigweed coming, so it's gonna be a pretty good time to get it done. But I've got a decent amount done. I haven't been down here for about an hour and a half maybe. I just wanted to come out and look at this millet on this circle. This is the one that I'm gonna have to spray kill and straight cut because most of it's, yeah. I don't know what the shortest it can be that you can still swath it is, but I know this is too short. There's a few spots I could make it work, but it'd be a pain trying to figure out what spots I could, so I'll just spray kill this one field and go from there. It was a little more drought stressed than the other two. When I got that rain, when I drilled it first part of June, it came up really quick, and then I think that set it up for a little bit of failure, because then it got too big too soon, and then when it caught the rains it was a little too late for the growth. Then we got hail and it really shortened up some, and it's regrown quite a bit now. It's still putting new heads out. I mean, all throughout the field there's a whole bunch of this, just the old heads laying on the ground, and it probably still be pretty decent. I mean, there's a lot of spots like this where it put on some decent heads again, and there's a bunch of little stuff down here, so this isn't going to be near as good. There's some more weeds out in this one. It wouldn't have been too bad, but I think the hail set it back quite a bit, and so now the weeds have really started taking off, so not real excited about that. But for not using any chemical at all and coming out of CRP, I'm pretty impressed with it. And like I said, here in a little bit, probably be able to start windrowing that other 2 fields of millet, because I think when it starts, well, that's not actually turning yet, but when it starts to ripen on the end of the heads, which I'll talk to my uncles a little more that have been raising millet for quite a few years. I think they said that's when you want to swath it, is when all the heads kind of have the tip of them starting to turn golden. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'll talk to them more, but like I said, this one, for the most part, it's only part way up my shins, so I'm just gonna spray kill this one and straight cut it, and it should hopefully still do pretty good. There's still a lot of heads coming, so I'm just gonna have to kind of keep an eye on this on when I actually need to get it sprayed. When you do spray it, I think you have to get it cut relatively soon, or there's kind of a time period. You obviously have to wait a little while, but within that time period, if you go too long, I think they said it can start falling down. And so gonna have to be watching it pretty closely, but overall it still looks pretty good for the overall condition and extremes that it's grown through. So not looking too bad at all. Like I said, those other 2 look really nice. I'm looking forward to see how those do, because coming out of CRP, I didn't expect a whole lot from them. Just out of all reality, I've always heard of people who have done it and said the first few years you don't get good results, and so I wasn't expecting a whole lot. So in that way, in this case scenario, if it does do good, I'll be happy. Whereas if I expected 30 bushel yields and only got 10, would have sucked. But for now, I'm gonna keep working this field and see how much I can get done today. I doubt I get it all done today. I'm moving through it fairly quick. It's not too terribly rough. Still being able to go C4 at 1600, which is like 6.5 mile an hour. So with this 7.6 sweep, it's gonna get knocked down pretty quick, but I don't think I'll be able to get it done tonight, so, which isn't a big deal. We've got most of the groundwork done. I think this last field we need to do, Dad might try and work the quarter at home, depending on what we want to do with that next year. But overall, we're not in too much of a hurry for anything right now, so if I have to finish it in the morning, I have to finish it in the morning. Otherwise, let's get back to farming. All right, I got a little over halfway done with that field. I wanted to come back and get this pickup head off the trailer. I'm gonna figure out where I want to try and park it. I think we should be able to get it off with the combine. Just have to try and see. So I'm gonna get this pickup moved around, and then we'll go from there and see if we have to find a ditch or something to help us a little bit. Like I said, this is nothing special. I think it's probably late 90s. I'll have to look at that. It's not set up for the 9770 yet, but it was in brush, so it wasn't too far away, and it didn't cost too much, and I didn't really want to spend a whole lot on it, because right now I have more this year. I have the 3 circles, but once I get it into rotation, I only have like 2 quarters that I'll want to be doing. And so, I mean, I really can't justify spending $20,000 on a newer, nicer one yet. Eventually, I don't know, millet's a pretty easy crop to grow and don't have a whole lot of expenses in it, especially this year. So it's probably a crop I'll try and keep doing. Sun's bright as crap. Just have to see how it goes these first few years. And if it keeps doing good for me, then I'll keep doing it. And then maybe at that point I can buy a nicer one. For now, this one will be just fine. And I mean, it's older, but it's not terribly old. And I mean, a lot of the parts, like I think these are still the same teeth and belts as the newer ones. And these are actually, I think these are brand new teeth. They look pretty nice. They don't really look worn at all. So that's one thing that kind of swayed me to buy this one, is the teeth looked really nice. We saw this one a little while ago. Dad and I went to do a CDL inspection class, which didn't help. We didn't get the CDLs, but we went through brush by the lot this was on, and normally they just do, this place does consignment sales, consignment auctions, and I was looking and their next sale wasn't until September, into September. I was like, great, they're gonna have it, but I'm not gonna be able to buy it in time that I'll need it. But luckily they were doing a private treaty sale this month. They still had it, and so it worked out. But when we were going to that CDL class, we had to wait on a really long train just right by that lot. And as a joke, I told Dad, well, let's go through their lot, see if they have a pickup head. Well, they had this, so without even thinking of actually being able to buy it, we were able to look at it, and it was kind of nice. So that's nice. Like I said, it's in pretty good shape. Everything looks good. We'll find out when I go to use it and everything goes to crap on it. But for now, I'm gonna see if we can, I'm hoping the 9770's feeder house can lift pretty high. I'm hoping we can get it lifted off. If not, on the north side of the trees there's a little bit of a ditch, but not much, and it kind of get it angled down, and we get on the road with the combine and it'd be fine. I am gonna get up and check the oil in this because it has been sitting for a while. But for now, I'll probably just drop the header here, because we're gonna be needing this header before that one, because we got to use that header to lay it down so we can pick it up with that one. So I'll just lay it there, and depending on how long this takes, I might look into seeing what it takes to switch that over. There's some screws, I know there's some screws you have to loosen for both the canvas and that back sheet to get it to slide over. Then you have to readjust the fingers on the center drum. I have a copy of the 936D manual, so I'll have to look at that, see where everything's actually at. And then all you have to do is you slide this belt over the center, and there's a PTO shaft, which I can show you later, that disengages the centered belt and the drum, and so that won't spin. And you move the belt, move this sheet, and then you just reverse these hoses. It makes it work to where then it'll put it out to the right and lay a windrow down. So we'll have to look into that and figure out exactly how to do that, so then we can lay the mallet down with it. Oil's good. So like I said, I'll just drop the header off here, see if I can lift that off. And Michael just got back home, so see if he'll help me if I need help. Alright, just like that, draper's unhooked. So now we'll go see if we can get that off the trailer. So right now the problem I'm running into is, you see how the feeder house is slanted? Just trying to do it right here is hitting down here way before would have ever been able to hook up to there. So I'm gonna have to take it over to that ditch so I can get the combine to kind of drop down and maybe get the feeder house to tilt forward. So I'll try that and see if we can make that work. All right, so here's what we're working with. Crown of the road kind of gets it to dip down. I know I'm probably not close enough. I want to see if this could actually work and if it'll get the, 'cause I think where it's sitting, the header even kind of tilts that way some, and then hopefully the feeder house will get tilted towards it, and hopefully together the two will work. Like I said, I'm assuming I'll have to get the trailer closer, and if I need to, looks like it might slant a little more there. We're gonna try it, because the way they loaded it is they just had a JCB telehandler with forks on it, and they put it through the feeder house opening and just lifted it up. Probably was the best way to do it. At the time it seemed kind of sketchy, but it didn't do any damage to it, and so we'll have to see how this works. Good thing we live in a area where we're basically at this time of the day the only ones that go down that road. So here along the road was not getting quite enough angle on the header to make it work. Tried 2 or 3 different spots. The best I did was I was able to get it on these 2 hooks, but couldn't quite get it actually on the feeder house, and I did not like that. Just still wasn't quite enough angle. So I have it south of Ben's here along the one trail where it angles quite a bit, and if this don't work, I'm probably gonna call it good for now. I think Dad's about home and we might just mess with it in the morning. I hope this works though. I just kind of like to get it off the trailer, but we'll see. Hopefully it does. Don't tell Dad, but I'm driving on the summer follow. We'll have to touch that up. But I'm hoping this spot works. It was a success. I was able to get just enough slant out of it. I got it set on those 2 hooks and I just backed it up real quick, set it down. We got it off the trailer. No real damage to Dad's trailer either. There's a few spots where the landing skids sat on it, but nothing like completely torn boards off, so that's good. Now I'll just take it back up, then come back down, get Dad's pickup, and we'll be done for tonight. All right, welcome back. Today is Saturday, August 13th. I got the pickup head set off over in the corner with all the other equipment, and we've been working on this. We've got it slid over to where I can lay a windrow down. Stuck all morning, hate to admit it, but these hoses are to run from here to this motor. There are some there's a hole there, but we weren't being able to pull it, so we just got these. But got the fingers adjusted to miss in there, So we just got to take a drive line off over there, take some belts off, put these on, and this should be good to go for when I need to lay my millet down. And a few other things we got to button up to get put back together, but that's where we're at right now. Just a little bit of a farmer fix. Don't actually have the, ideally you'd have this one also up here. You'd have something like that, but we don't. So just had to wire it there for now. Only doing 200, or only doing 350 acres, not too much. All right. We have the header set and ready to go. Should be ready to go anyways. We talked to the mechanic to see what belts we needed to change, and then he said something about running an extra toggle switch to override this switch that normally turns the header on, because where you have to take some of the belts off, you'll have a lot of stuff that isn't turning like it normally would be, and so without having that toggle switch, all the buzzers would be going off saying not spinning, not spinning, not spinning, you know. And we couldn't figure out exactly where he said you have to run that to. So I think he said Monday or Tuesday he has some more free time, so he'll run down real quick and this first time show us where to put everything and get everything set up for next time, which I'm still ways out on needing to do this. It's not like we're gonna do it tomorrow. We had a little bit of time, wasn't doing much, and so I just wanted to get started, so then that way we can have it done and know it's ready to go. But for now, I'm just gonna park it here. I'm probably gonna go look at my millet and just see. It's been a little while and it's been fairly warm out, so if it's gonna start ripening soon, it's probably going to be a good time for it to start that, just because of how warm it's been. You don't want to do it too soon, because then when you actually pick it up and harvest it, there's going to be a lot of green berries in it. But you don't want to wait too long, because then it could get too dry and too ripe, and whenever you get a windstorm, it could shatter all the seed out and you wouldn't have anything to harvest. So for now, I'm just gonna park this back here where it was, and then I'm gonna go down and look at it and just see where we're at, and hopefully it's gonna land in a time period that I can do it in this next week, because we go back the 22nd and today's the 13th. So not looking forward to going back to school, but gonna have to do it soon. So like I said, hopefully swathing this mill is gonna work out on a weekend or end of the week, and then maybe picking it up will also work out sometime end of the week. But for now, that's where we're at. I think tomorrow I'll hook the swather up, start getting it ready, because I think we have some better chances tomorrow and Monday for rain. But if we don't get it, we're gonna go ahead and start swathing, because the hay's burning up. Some worse than others. Others aren't too bad, but close to 100-degree weather again. It's not doing very good. So plan is just swath it. If we don't get any rain, get it while it's still good. Go from there, and who knows, maybe we'll get some rain and it'll start growing decent again. But for now, the plan is probably gonna be swathing hay here soon, so that's exciting. So for now, that's about all we're gonna be doing for today, so we'll see you tomorrow.